Welcome to Weekend at the Cottage's How to Build a Storage Shed Part 1. Today I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of site prep, and then we're going to lay the foundation for our 10 by 20 shed. The entire process hopefully will go pretty smoothly thanks to the help of a couple of friends who are up on the weekend. As well, we're using a really nice set of plans. We're using really good tools. So let's get started and build our storage shed. One of the most important first steps in any build project is to select and then prepare the site where the structure will go. I selected a sheltered spot towards the back of the property on relatively level ground. This location is close to where most of my lawn and garden maintenance happens. Next, I reviewed my plans. I broke the plans down into the main sections for the build and then got on the phone to review the materials list I'd ordered at my local building center in town. The center delivered the various components for the build in sections, one for roofing, one for walls and framing, another for the foundation and flooring, and so on. This made accessing the correct materials easy. The other thing I did was to set up a tool station on a 6-foot folding table close to the build site. This is where I placed out things like my drills, a circular saw, a multi-tool, batteries, battery charges, plus essentials like a tape measure, level, square, and so on. Having these things close by is a smart idea. After selecting the space, we cleared away brush and foliage using clippers, garden shears, and rakes. I also had help from friends. Once the site was clear, we did a quick measurement just to get a rough idea of where the 4 corners of the 10 by 20 foot shed would sit. Having help when you're working on a project like this is always appreciated. Let's hear it for the friends. With relatively level ground, I took my lead from my friend Mark, who suggested we locate the high and low points of the site. The expert at the building center recommended post bases resting on concrete pads. We started putting them into place beginning at the highest corner. Getting the 8 foundation blocks level and in place took quite a bit of time. Getting that foundation level is key to a successful build. It does take time, but it's time well spent. Once the bases were level and in place, we prepared the 2 longest floor joists. This involved us doubling up 2 20-foot 2x8s where we sistered them. We placed them side by side and then drilled them together. This created a long and sturdy base for the 2 load-bearing walls. We then laid these long floor joists into the bases and nailed in a 10-foot 2x8 at the end of each. With this basic rectangular shape in place, Mark did a corner-to-corner measurement to make sure the footprint for the shed was square, and then we marked out the location of the remaining floor joists based on the details of the plan. We then cut the joists to size and placed them in using galvanized joist hangers. Nailing the joist hangers in the middle of the marked location and then hanging them takes a bit of time. Just make sure to nail everything in securely. Even after my weekend guests left, I was still able to continue the project and install the remaining floor joists to plan. Last thing on this part of the shed project was to lay the actual flooring material down in place. Interesting how the material comes with lines running along one side. Those lines line up with the floor joists below. How brilliant is this? So I simply drilled the flooring into the corner and then started working my way out, going along, adding screws every few inches or so along the guidelines. Last thing about the floor is the way the sheets of flooring connect. My expert recommended a durable, sealed, and coated tongue and groove product. Everything went into place without incident. Well, actually, there was one little incident. There I was positioning one sheet of floor material. I noticed the floor joist wasn't lining up. The cause was a big wow, which I learned means the wood has a bit of a bend to it. Wow! Thankfully, with a little side pressure, I straightened out the joist, I screwed in the flooring, and I continued. Panic averted. Before I knew it, I was dancing my happy dance. This, the foundation of a successful project. My shed was starting to take shape. And so that ends part 1 of Let's Build a Shed. I just want to do a quick recap because number 1, I'm really pleased with the results, but number 2, I want to share a few things that I've learned along the way. First, and most important, I'm thankful to my friend Mark and his sons, Jackson and Griffin, who helped at the very beginning. Mark has experience. He has built things before. I didn't want him to build this shed. I wanted him to work with me and guide me, and having someone with experience is really, really helpful and I think important. Number 2, using the right tools. I loved bringing out my little bag of tools every day, setting them up on my station, and then having them handy and at the ready is key to staying organized during the process. Third thing, the plans in general. I mean, I have the floor down, but so far I can tell you selecting the right plan for your project is important. This 10 by 20 storage shed will be beautiful. Fingers still crossed, we'll see in the next few episodes. Final couple of things. Always remember to keep on the level. This was so critical, especially in that first stage. It was like an entire day of getting the blocks exactly right, making sure this was level, the pads were level, all of it before we added the joists. When it went to adding the floor joists, this was critical, a tape measure. And all those little measurements on this tape measure are so important. You might want to have a pad of paper or something to keep writing them down, keeping track of them as we measured. And that was also important when we did the first couple of the 4, the 8, the 12, and the 16-foot floor joists running in the other direction. Having the right measurements and someone to hang them with me was really great. Last thing is just a shout out to the person who invented this fantastic gizmo. I know there's people out there going, it's a floor joist, Nick. Or no, it's a joist hanger. You saw me working with it with Mark, and then I had to do it on my own when they left, right, to hang the balance of those floor joists. The way it's made, the way it works, you know, somebody who normally deals with skillets and microplanes, bain-marie, Dutch ovens, this might not seem like a big deal, but boy, it is brilliant and it sure does the trick. Well, that's part 1 of our Let's Make a Shed series. Make sure to subscribe to weekendatthecottage.com for all of our updates. Also make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel because we'll have the next 4 installments of Let's Make a Shed together coming up. I'm going to kind of jump ahead and raise the roof, kind of, sort of. I'm going to start working on our roof trusses. I'm making stuff called gussets. I'm to be using a miter saw. Lots coming up. Thanks so much for watching, and if you're making a shed, we're with you, and yes, you can do it. We'll see you again. Enjoy. Yay.